First and foremost, I'd like to say, I know that this is no fault of Bungie specifically. I realize that the term Disability Pride Month is a thing. I had just not heard about it prior to this post. The Bungie store put out a post the other day, celebrate Disability Pride Month with the Everyone Can Play collectible pin. So for the month of July, apparently, it is Disability Pride Month. Now, when I read this, I had a few thoughts. Firstly, on Disability Pride Month as a whole, but also in regards to how Bungie is choosing to, I guess, celebrate. An able person saying, "I support you," means nothing if they aren't taking action. You support me, that's great, but what are you doing to support my community? What are you doing in ways of creating your product or running your community in a way that is accessible to customers or community members who are disabled? If you develop a game, what are you doing to implement more accessibility options for those with various symptoms of different disabilities? I hate that disability has become some sort of a marketing buzzword. I dislike the use of pride in this post because it implies some sort of artificial, cheery attitude towards a major part of my life, something that contributes hugely to my day-to-day and makes my life harder and frankly much worse. I am not proud to be disabled. I get the same vibe from the term disability pride as I do from people that say, no, don't call it disabled. You should say differently abled. Fuck off. I am disabled. It isn't something to make light of. It is a serious condition. It affects me in ways you may never consider as an able person. You have zero right to tell me what to label my disability. Gosh, it's so ridiculous. I have a diagnosis. I am disabled. There is no need to try and fluff it up or make it seem like it could be positive in any way. You don't need to make it seem like a good thing. It's not a good thing. Motherfucker, I am terminally ill. My condition will kill me eventually. My disability affects everything that I do, including consume your product or service. In the case of Bungie, of course, they produce a game that I play, Destiny 2. In the past, I've had much to say in regards to their disgusting lack of accessibility options in-game. Unfortunately, I never made a post about it prior to their HUD changes that came with the final shape. I personally love the new placements for buffs and debuffs. It's not perfect, and for whatever reason, only 4 buffs can be shown on the left side still at a given time, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's just about the only change I've seen them implement. Sure, for the average player, there's a bit of adapting to do with the new layout, but as someone who has visual struggles, I appreciate the change. I enjoy that anything pertaining to my weapons will be located down the bottom, above my weapon info. I enjoy that threatening auras and debuffs are located at the top, nearby my health. These make sense to me and are good changes. One thing I will make note of, you can consider this my official suggestion for new features, text chat needs more customization. Again, I have difficulties with my sight, and while the HUD changes are great, text chat has major flaws. In my opinion, of course. I'm not sure if anybody else struggles with this same way that I do, but I keep text chat up pretty much at all times when I'm in a group activity. Let's say a raid. First of all, I'm sure we've all had the struggle of somebody calling out R1 or Joe, come here, or something very basic and everyday, and for whatever reason, Bungie's auto chat moderation will decide, that's profanity, you're not allowed to say that, and censor whatever you were trying to communicate to your team. If I'm being nice, man, that sucks, that's pretty dumb. If I'm gonna be blunt, fucking ableist. Not everyone can communicate on a microphone. Sure, some people might just not have a microphone, but some people may not physically be able to speak, and they need text chat to be able to partake in the game in the same way that everybody else can. For the sake of equal opportunity, they need to fix whatever is going wrong with your chat moderation, because it is a bar between a disabled player making it through a raid. And that makes me, obviously, a little angry. But of course, it just seems a little inconvenient at the least to the average player. Now, back to my suggestion. I keep text chat up at all times during a raid, but that doesn't mean that I can actually see it if I'm not looking directly at it. The only way currently to force the text chat to produce a sound whenever a new message is sent is to have it fully minimized, and you have to manually interact with it in order to see that new message that pinged you. To me, that's not okay. Even if the text chat is fully expanded on my screen and somebody posts the letter T, which indicates that I need to take a buff or an object out of their hands, I won't necessarily see that unless I move my eyes and look at the text chat. What I would like is to actually hear a new sound. I want to be audibly notified. In fact, such a feature exists on Discord. Everybody knows the classic Discord notification sound, which alerts you whenever you receive a DM or a notification in a different chat or channel. But did you know that you can set it up so that you get a sound on the chat that you're actually in. I have this feature on and I use it daily. Because I have tunnel vision and very limited peripheral vision, I can't see whenever I receive a notification on my second monitor, so I get that sound cue to tell me that the chat that I'm already viewing has received a new message. I can't always see that somebody's trying to get my attention. I cannot see that. Another thing that I've been saying for, gosh, months, years, I'm not really sure, is I really hate low contrast areas. Specifically the Warlord's Ruin Ogre. When you start gaining frostbite, your screen gets more whitish, blue, and really watered down. I can't see shit when that happens. Go near a lantern and take your stacks off. Yes, but it leaves an effect in my eyes where my eyes are aching. When you jump through certain portals in the game, your screen flashes bright white. That's not okay. What about dark flashes? Fuck, the dogshit piece of trash that is Call of Duty, they've had black flashes for I don't know how long. Destiny needs, gosh, I feel like most of the changes that I really would like to see them implement have been the minimum or the standard in other games for years. Why does it always seem that Destiny is so ahead of everyone, but so far behind all at the same time? I'm not sure if it's just a matter of perspective. Is it just because I'm a person with a disability? I have the insight. I know how other disabled people and, through my own experiences, I know what we need. Does Bungie actually have a team of disabled people first-hand curating more accessibility options in the game? It just somewhat rubs me the wrong way thinking about how there may be some individual, non-disabled, not able to lend that first-hand knowledge and insight into what we may need in order to have equal opportunity to access this game and share the space with able people and play as easily as they can. I see so many reminders on a daily basis that normal people, the average person, able people, whatever you feel like calling non-disabled people, really don't think about how certain products or tools that help disabled people and aren't useful to them have a tendency to claim, this won't help me, this idea is stupid, who the hell needs XYZ product? If you don't understand something and you don't think it'll be helpful to you and you say, oh, I don't need this, perhaps you should consider that maybe that thing is not designed for you. And I reckon more people should pay attention to how we can design things to help other people. Am I making sense here? I feel like Bungie and other game companies too, but I primarily play Destiny on a day-to-day basis. They need to be listening to the people with the disabilities. They need to be implementing changes that actually help us. Of course, if you're not bothered by text chat not making a sound, then cool. If eventually we do get the option to customize it, you won't customize it. Fucking good for you. There will be people that do need to make changes so that the game works for them and that they can play easier and have fun easier and fucking share a space equally, getting the chance to have as much fun with as much ease as possible. It's the ableism, it's the sheer number of oversights where people just aren't being considered. Certain communities are completely being pushed aside because it doesn't affect you. If Bungie truly supports disabled people, what are they doing to support us? I know this is no fault of Bungie's because it's simply what this event is called, but Disability Pride Month, I am not proud to be disabled. And one could make the argument it's not pride about the disability itself, but the pride about how much you can achieve despite the disability and with all your other capabilities. I just don't think that that is as important. It doesn't matter how proud I am and confident I am in myself. It's about how the public views me. It's about how people offering products and services and hosting communities, etc., those people need to be made aware of my needs. It doesn't matter how proud I am. Awareness needs to be spread, and that's what I don't like about this whole ordeal is why is it not Disability Awareness Month? People don't seem to be aware. Do you know how many people are unprepared when somebody has a seizure in front of them because they're not aware? Things like this just are not talked about. The needs of the disabled are not talked about enough. We are not understood as much as we should be by the able people who we need to rely on. We need more people to advocate for us, to speak up for us, to implement changes that support us. Saying you support those with disabilities, but you don't take action interaction is just not right. Anyway, just seeing that tweet made me feel a lot of things the other day, and I know this has been quite a ramble, so there you have it. I hope I've brought some new things to light. Happy Disability Pride Month, I suppose.